Krista,
Hello.
hi. I'm David McCallum's still on the board, right? Is he?
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm admitting him. Talk about- Um, gosh, there's really like 10 people. Oh my goodness. What the hell? We have 71 people registered, bro.
That's awesome. Boop, boop.
Okay. Okay, let's get okay. Marty, go ahead. Yusuf's coming on, David's coming on. We just might as well just as soon as I see Kim, I'll bring her on so you can start and then just go over basically what I'm gonna make Yusuf the host and we'll be good to go. Actually, I'm gonna stay the host so that I can admit and monitor, but I'll
Yes,
just be
I would
on.
like that very much.
Yeah. Huh?
Now that I was on mute and I'm here like going over things and anyway, yeah.
Brother love.
Yeah.
I just love brother love.
I just put in the chat an introduction to what this is, who's who kind of thing.
Okay.
Crysta, I just got off the phone with Yusuf. He's got a lot of great topics, plenty of content.
Perfect.
Do you have some really good stuff too, or things that you really want to talk about?
I was just going over the notes, and I'm happy to comment on anything. I was
Okay.
just going to comment too about the decorating early, making sure you have
Oh,
your
I love that. I have that on my list.
yeah, making sure you have your inventory ready because I just placed like my box inventory and my tape inventory and
Sweet.
bubble wrap.
I thought what would be really good is I'll introduce real quick everybody that's on the call from AMBC and from AIM High, but real quick, quick agenda, and then go over the format, which I think if it's just you and Yusuf having a conversation, kind of like a podcast, the two co-hosts talking to each other. And you just be like, and I do this and we do this, and oh, that's a great idea. And oh, yeah, yeah. And for the first 30, 35 minutes, and then about 20 of, or whenever we feel the time is right, if we have to go a little early, if we're out of chat, or if you're going on a roll, we'll do 5 minutes late. I'll kind of watch the chat and the questions and comments that come in there, and then we'll open it up to talking about them. I don't know if we'll unmute certain people for them to comment, but sometimes you know how that gets a little out of hand and it can take
Yeah.
over. And then at 9 o'clock, I'll wrap it up, and I'm going to just be the facilitator, but you two are the co-hosts, I'll wrap it up, and then Yusuf's going to take 20 minutes at the end to go over pricing. So I think it'll be great. I think it's going to be a really good thing. 71 participants.
So good.
Crysta, I love this fireside
Hi,
chat
Fred.
thing where we're gonna just talk between you and I. It'll just be good, bouncing ideas off each other, just having a conversation. Very natural, just you and I and people just listening in. I think it's gonna be very, very informative that way.
Yeah, I think it'll be great.
You
And the
know?
first thing we want to do is Fahim, are you mobile at the store on your phone, or are you at a computer?
I'm at a computer, I'm at a laptop, and I'm gonna be muted. I'm gonna be taking all the questions, texting Yusuf and putting the chat. So I'm totally behind the scenes today, if you can actually believe
Oh,
that.
okay. We were gonna do it, flip your camera around and show the store. Is that possible, or we can just skip
Yeah, I can. Hopefully I won't lose internet, but yeah, we can.
Yeah.
Right towards the end. Towards the
towards
end,
the
we
end?
can.
Okay.
Mhm.
Okay.
What
We
I
were
would
thinking
really
So
like is if you could get on your cell phone towards the end, because that way you can take your cell phone and flip the camera and show the store that way.
oh, I'm getting old. I don't know if I'll be able to do that. Okay, whatever.
Well, Yusuf, you when you're
Okay.
ready, ask your dad to do that. Is that okay?
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's
The
fine.
Now,
We'll
conversation
figure it
comes
out.
I
up.
would like to do that before the questions, once Crysta and I finish up with our
Okay.
podcast kind of thing.
So
Right
about
before
great.
that.
8:35 or so.
Yeah.
Okay,
So
okay,
just
great.
so Marty, if
Perfect.
you want to monitor the time and kind of text him, be like, hey, now would be the time to get on your cell phone and stuff. Be great for
Also,
us.
before I let everybody in, um, can someone text Steve Merrick the link? He
I'm
obviously
trying right now. Yep.
just text him the link. And also before I let everybody in, I can if I miss someone, are you able to? Because there's like 20 people waiting already. I'm just gonna be behind the scenes for the next 5 minutes because I'm gonna try to get everybody in. So, okay. And
Perfect.
here we go.
That
We're
sounds
gonna
great.
Okay, thanks.
Let's rock it.
we're gonna ask if everyone is supposed to be muted, but we're gonna ask if they can mute themselves because we just don't want any background noise. So the people besides the host, if they can just stay muted, and then we will unmute them. So what I've designed is that everyone's muted unless we unmute them.
Yep, and Marty's gonna go over that as well in his intro.
Yeah. Looks like Tommy's feet have joined us.
Tommy was not supposed to be on this call.
I
Wow.
love that he is.
Big
Look at all
boy
these people
Tommy.
coming in. We're going to be taking the next minute to let everybody in. We had 71 registrants for this town hall meeting. So we've had a great turnout and we're so glad everyone's joining us. So if you'll bear with us a moment while we let everyone in, then we will get started at 8 before 8:01 hits. That's our goal. We're going to be prompt.
Yes.
I love it.
Fahim, give us a thumbs up once you've once the gates have been swung fully open. Okay. It's like a couple of people are still connecting.
There's going to be a lot of people connecting. So if we want to wait just one more minute, and
For sure.
then because I think I admitted whoever got in, I can do an admit all, but
Right.
there's there's 30 people, and I think we got like 30 more coming in. So
Perfect.
it's great.
Wonderful.
That's great.
Welcome, everybody. We are starting in just a moment. We just have a few more people to let in here. This is going to be a big meeting, but it's going to be a good one.
Yes,
I'm excited.
sir. I'm hyped. Getting some water here.
Okay, shall we begin? Okay.
Yes.
Good evening, everyone, and good late afternoon to you on the West Coast. Thank you for joining us. My name is Marty. I'm going to facilitate this meeting, and the co-hosts for the meeting are Crysta from AMBC and Yusuf from AYM High Consultants. I've put into the chat a brief agenda as well as an introduction of who's who, and I want to quickly acknowledge a couple other AMBC members who are here, or board members and staff. We have Brad Risch, who's the operations executive, Norman Froscher, who's an advisor and past board chair, and it looks like Noelle Wright is here. She's a board member. David McCallum, a board member. Barry Risch is a past board member, and I'm sure there's plenty of others on here too.
Tommy
Armstrong,
Armstrong.
Yep, he's board vice chair. So we have a number of AMBC board members on the call who are store owners, just like everyone else, who are volunteering to help run the industry nonprofit, the Association of Mail and Business Centers. And then we have some from the AIM High team. We are small business consultants specializing in this industry. Myself and Yusuf, your co-host. Yusuf is one of the leads. And Fahim is going to be silent this meeting, but he's also one of the leads.
Let's see how long that lasts.
And we have Steve joining us, and Seema's participating as well from the back end. So those are the 5 AIM High coaches. This meeting is being recorded, and AIM High will put it on our YouTube channel within the next day or two, so everyone can have access to it. AMBC will also have it to put in their member resource area. So everyone who is participating or couldn't participate but wants to watch it later can watch this free, open to all town hall meeting. The format is going to be Crysta and Yusuf talking about ideas, tips, and tricks for getting ready for December, getting ready for the holidays and the big busy season in our stores. We're going to take questions, comments, all that in the chat. I'm going to monitor that. And then the last 20 minutes or so of the formal town hall meeting, we will get into all your questions and commentary. Unless there's something super pertinent, I might interrupt them just to bring it up. At the end, we have a bonus for you. After 9 o'clock, from 9 to 9:20, Yusuf's going to stay on the call with anyone who wants to stay on and review some pricing strategies for December, because pricing is absolutely important, and Yusuf is our pricing specialist at AIM High. So for anyone who wants to stay after the official town hall meeting ends at 9, he'll take about 20 minutes and go over with you some very specific pricing strategies as a little bonus gift. So without further ado, I'm going to turn it over to Crysta and Yusuf, and they can start sharing some getting ready for the holidays tips. I do want to mention this is a large group of people, which is why we have you all muted. But please put all your comments in the chat. We had about 71 registrants last time we checked. So a big group, and we're so glad you all joined us. Crysta, Yusuf, take it away.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, I want to start off by thanking everyone for being here and actually congratulating you all because you've taken a step that most stores have not. You've taken a step in growing your business and you've come here because you've taken time out from your family, from your dinners on a weekday here and want to grow your business. So I want to congratulate you on taking that step. But like Marty mentioned here, it's going to be, the format's going to be Crysta and I kind of just talking, a podcast fireside chat, as you may say, going back and forth with ideas and you all listening in and taking in that information. So Crysta, let's get started here. The first thing that I wanted to mention was how important is it for getting ready for the holidays with decoration?
Oh, it is so important because I mean, everywhere you go, it's already decorated. They
Right?
started right before Halloween. I feel like I started seeing Christmas decorations and Christmas
Yeah.
candy and cards.
It's crazy. I mean, all these high corporations, the malls, the grocery stores, they've done so much research, so they know exactly when to do it. And for many years, I thought, around like Thanksgiving time and between Thanksgiving and Christmas is like the most important time. But as you get every year passes by, I feel like the decorations happen earlier and earlier.
It's so true. And I have to admit, I'm doing the same. My store's already decorated. I put everything up November 1st.
Exactly.
So,
And some stores, I think, were doing it last month. Marty was
yep.
sending us pictures in our chat. He was like somewhere and he was like, oh my God, look, we got Christmas decor already. It's like 3 months away. But I mean, that's the way to do it. At the towards the end of this call, we've been decorating our store as well, and we're going to show everybody kind of what it looks like and what things to focus on.
Can't wait to see it. I'm sure it looks amazing as always.
Yeah. What kind of things do you decorate? What do you mean by decoration? What things are we focusing on as a store?
So, first, obviously, just Christmas decorations. I have a tree up right by the front door. We have our Christmas lights behind our counter. I hang a lot of snowflakes because I'm in Minnesota and there's tons of snow.
Yeah.
But then I also start right away with Christmas cards out. I have counter displays with Christmas like impulse items. I also have out specialty Christmas items that they can purchase, as well as all of my Christmas stickers, because everybody knows I love stickers more than
Yeah.
anything.
Those sell pretty well too. We recently started, I think, earlier this year to just Jasmine, our manager, was like, "Oh my God, we gotta like start selling stickers." And I was like, "Stickers?" We put them at the front counter and they like go like this. It's crazy.
I have people that come in just to check if I put new stickers, and
Right?
almost all of my drop-off customers buy a sticker. So great way to convert your drop-off customers to a customer.
And I'm so glad you mentioned drop-offs because that's the next thing I wanted to discuss. During the holiday time, especially at the UPS store, the post office, the lines are always out the door. The rush is crazy with like Amazon returns, people sending out gifts for their loved ones, so on and so forth, retail items being sold. And I feel like the most important thing is our drop-off customers always get like brushed under the rug. They're not given enough focus. And as stores, we talk about building relationships and turning drop-offs into dollars all the time. But this is the most important time to do that. Taking that extra 30 seconds, 45 seconds, I feel like can turn someone's day around. And you'd be surprised that person who just came in for a drop-off could end up being a big client for you later in the future just by how you treated them. Have you ever seen that before?
Yes, so many times, especially with some of our older clientele that have a really hard time like figuring out how to print their label, or they're not sure.
Yeah.
They say that they feel brushed off at so many other places, or like they're an inconvenience, but when they come to our store, they always feel like they're taken care of, that we care about them. So we turn them into a customer by treating them like I would a high value customer and telling
Yes.
them, no, I'm happy to help you. Let me show you how to do it. You're not taking up my time. This is important too. I want you to be happy. Let me show you how to do it. And because you take that time, you make them feel important and you're not brushing them off to the next person. They come back and they say, "Oh, I didn't know you had cards in here. I didn't know you had this in here. I'm going to come here for everything because you built a relationship, you made them feel important in that moment.
Exactly, exactly. It makes such a huge difference. You know, in Postalmate, because we use Postalmate, and I'm sure there's some Shipwright users that can probably utilize this option as well. But there's an option to put in notes for each client, for each customer that comes in. And we use that religiously. Like even if it's a drop-off customer, he's regular, comes in and they prefer a physical receipt because we've translated to virtual and email receipts now, totally. But we make exceptions for those customers that don't have email or just prefer a physical receipt. So we'll take in those notes and put it down for every single customer. And what it does is it builds that relationship and makes it even stronger. Because if it's you helping them, okay, you know them. But what if it's a team member or someone that doesn't know them and they can read the notes and know right away who that person is, what their relationship is, a quick thing about them, and it allows for that relationship to just continue on for where it left off. So just for
That's such a
drop off,
great idea.
yeah, we'll just be like, this is a diamond level person, treat them right. Like they come in, they prefer physical receipt, and we go ahead and do that. And it just makes their day. They're just so like blown away. Like, how'd you know? And you know what? We love to take care of our customers. It makes a big deal. It makes a big
It
difference.
really does. It really does. And word of mouth, right? Because
Oh my
they're going to
gosh.
tell people, I love going there because they treat me right. And actually, we had some today that came in with drop-offs, but they did faxes, bought some stickers, and they said, my daughter sent me here because she said, don't worry, I know you're nervous about doing this. They'll take care of you. So
Yeah,
you have to build that relationship.
100%. And through building that relationship, we actually even don't call them customers at ISC.
Fair.
And I'm sure you know this. We call them guests. Like when you go to a hotel, you're a
Yes.
guest there. And by doing that, they're like, oh my gosh, what? And you're like, no, customer sounds so transactional, you know, and it's hard to translate over because you're so used to, you know,
It
for so
is.
many years. But by doing that and actively making that approach, you'll see that it changes the mindset. Even that person that comes in who you treat as a guest and you say, hey, come on in and you're our loyal guest, they start to just their mindset changes and you'll realize they turn into drop-offs turn into dollars, kind of like that.
Very true. Very
Another
true.
thing, this is something I learned from Marty, and we used to do it, but Marty took it a different level. And Marty, you can chime in on this if you want. Talk to us about kind of during the holidays. You pass out cookies sometimes, right? What do you pass out during the holidays?
Oh yeah. Not just during the holidays. We had well, Starbucks. We learned this from Starbucks actually. We had a good friend of our store who was a manager at the local Starbucks, and they have a policy where they're allowed to surprise and delight certain guests a few times a day. It's a manager's prerogative. So they're able to give a gift of a free drink or an upgrade or a treat. It's for the people that are regulars that like, I know you love a cranberry bliss bar, so I'm just going to give you one today, even though you didn't order it kind of thing. It's called surprise and delight. And we kind of always done this, but we just didn't have a word for it. Every now and then I would bring in cookies. I did not make them, but I would go buy the nice cookies at the grocery store, the bakery, something like that, bring them in. And we had a special cookie tray with a lid for sanitary purposes, and we gave out napkins, but not every day, not all the time, but maybe once a week or something, we would surprise people with a cookie. And with mostly a student market that we had, they really, really loved it. And it was something that they didn't experience at any other store. And they literally left our store with a good taste in their mouth. So
I love that.
we did that, and then it got a little more and more, and then especially during the holidays, we would have holiday themed ones. So that is a really good relationship technique that you can use all year round, but especially at the holidays, people are like forgetting calorie counts. They're much more likely to just go hog in it. So try that.
I love that. We do chocolates and we have for so many years. And like it's easy, you put in a bowl and just chocolates. I like the nice chocolates, right? You know, like the Dove chocolate, something quality to show that you are a quality store. You know, you're not transactional business. You're there for the relationship. You're there to give out quality because we as stores, what do we focus on? We focus on service and quality, not price. We want to become known as a destination in our community, in our town, where everybody comes to us, not because we're the cheapest place in town, but because of the experience they get, how you treat them, how you make them feel, how you're there after the package goes out. You know, Crysta, if someone comes out and ships a package through you and something happens, you're going to pick up their phone call. You're going to be like, hey, let's figure this out. Even you don't have to. It's not your prerogative. I mean, the UPS store or the post office certainly doesn't do any of that. What's so important about that?
It makes them feel valued.
Yeah.
But it also makes them feel like they have someone in a world, especially where you have to go through phone trees and 800 numbers and robocalls, and you're go online and figure it out yourself. Like, I just want to talk to a person. I just want someone to help me. And they know, like,
Right?
I have a local person. I can call
Mhm.
you. You've got my back. I don't have to go fight online or fight through an 800 number and keep yelling customer service at somebody to try to get this taken care of. Like, you're going to take care of me. And
Definitely.
they know, like, we can email with them if they prefer. We can text with them. We can take care of them how they prefer. If they don't, maybe they're at work, they don't have time to take a phone call. We have options to take care of them, but they know somebody's got them. They don't have to worry
Yeah.
that they're going to have to figure it out. Somebody's going to get back to them. We're going to follow up with them. We email them occasionally so they're not wondering like what's going
Wow,
on.
that's awesome.
An update. Hey, just letting you know we're still working on this. It's not resolved yet, but we're still checking. We'll get back to you as soon as we have an answer. That way they're not waiting.
And you do that even during the holidays, even though you're super busy?
Yes.
Wow, that's amazing. And that's
Yes.
a really big tip right there. And speaking about phone calls, so do you pick up phone calls during your busiest times? So if someone calls your store and you're assisting a guest or there's a line out your door, do you still pick up the phone even every time it rings, or do you let it go to voicemail if you're super busy?
I will still attempt to answer the phone every single time it rings.
Yes. And that's a good
Um,
answer. Yeah.
yeah, there are times, obviously, we're all super busy. We
It's not
cannot
popping.
get to the phone, but we do try every single time, even if we have to say, I have a customer in front of me. Would you
Yes.
mind holding for just one moment? I'll come right back to you. Or can I get your phone number and call you back as soon as I'm done with this transaction? But I know how frustrating it is to call and call and call and not get an answer
Right?
and wonder, are they open? Is somebody there? So we do attempt to answer every time and at least say, do you mind holding or can I get your information and call you back?
I think that's so important. And we at ISC have a policy, and it's no matter what happens, you have to pick up that phone call. So you can have 5 people in line and do exactly what you just said. Thank you for calling Island Ship Center. Can I put you on a brief hold? And if it's super busy, may I just have your number and get back to you? That shows that they've been heard, and it's a good sign too, because it shows the guest, oh my God, they're super busy, they're slammed, but they still picked up my phone call. You know,
Yeah.
it goes all about building relationships. And if everyone here didn't pick it up yet, but the whole theme of this town hall is building relationships and how that's going to increase profits for you. Givers
Yes,
gain always,
so
right?
important. It really is. They need to feel connected to you because then they feel loyal to you and they want to come back because they feel like they have a connection, they have a relationship, they don't want to
Exactly.
break that.
And if you're
And they would
constantly
come back.
investing in your guests, in your communities, in your business, and doing things for the community, when you increase your prices, and stay tuned till the end because I will go over pricing strategies. It's so important. The best time to actually increase prices is right before the holidays. Wouldn't you agree?
Yes, it
Yeah.
is. It really is because everybody expects there to be an increase. They say, oh, everything's going up for the holidays. So they kind of expect the pricing to go up
Yeah.
anyway. And I don't see as much pushback from customers when they see that
You don't.
increase. They've kind of expected it to be rolled in to the holiday.
They do. Like, first of all, they're already in the mindset, right? Think of us as shoppers too, right? When you go to the store and you're buying gifts for your families and loved ones, you're already in the mindset of spending, right? Now you're not
Yeah.
going to be looking so much at the price tag like you would throughout the year. Right now, it's, oh, I found this cool thing. This person would like it. Oh, it's for Christmas. I'm buying it. Oh, this is a perfect gift. You're buying it. Same thing with the shipping world. When you increase your prices all across the board, people understand, they're already in the mindset. And finally, if you've been a business that's invested in your community and you built relationships and you're a relationship-based business, the increased pricing to your guests that appreciate it will not have an issue. And any person that has an issue with it, they're a customer, not a guest, and that is not your client to begin with. And they'll get replaced with somebody that will appreciate service and quality. That's the number one thing for mindset for our store owners to think about, not to shop with your own wallet, that you're
Yes.
solving a problem, and not to think, oh, well, I wouldn't pay for this. Well, just because you wouldn't pay for it doesn't mean 100 other people wouldn't, you know? They have a
Exactly.
need, they need this overnight. It doesn't matter what the price is. It's you're solving a problem.
Exactly. And I think a good strategy for that too is sometimes starting with the highest prices and working
Ooh,
down.
I like that. I
And
like that a
it
lot.
kind of like, oh, well, I wouldn't pay $500 to ship this, but 70 doesn't seem so bad compared to 500
Right.
that you just shocked me with. And
Right.
then
It's
they
yeah.
feel like they're getting a better deal, that
Mhm.
you found a better price for them when you start. Well, if you needed it there tomorrow at 8 a.m., it's this much. And they're like, no, 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 that's ridiculous. Oh,
Right.
well, let's go down the list a
Yeah.
little bit and find a better option for you. You're working for
Exactly.
them, you're looking out for
Mhm.
them, you found a great deal for them, even though it's
Yeah.
just the regular price. But because they heard this higher one, now they're like, oh, you did something for me.
I love that. Marty, what was it that your mom had in her store? Something about prices you choose. What was that saying she always had?
Oh yeah, we and I use this too. We had the carrier logos, the official authorized logos, both at
Mm.
our window and on a sign behind the counter. And it was we did not have UPS, so it was well, my mom had UPS back in the 90s at her stores, but at my store I did not have UPS. I had FedEx, DHL, and the USPS. So I had all three logos, and at the bottom it said, "We compare, you choose." Just two-word
Love it.
sentences, very similar, but people loved that. And yes, we always use that shock strategy where you put FedEx first overnight first, and you can reorder your point of sale. You can reorder what order those buttons are in,
Yeah.
and that way they see the higher price option top and front and center, and then you work your way down to the more economical options. So we would never use the C word, cheap. We would say
Yes.
more economical if we had to, but we would generally try to guide people toward the best option. So you need this there by Friday, so your best option will be FedEx 2-day. We
Yes,
also have
I like
FedEx
that.
overnight, or if you want to take a risk, ground might be there, but probably won't be there until
Mhm.
so we used our
Yes.
words carefully, try to find the best
Absolutely.
option for them, not the cheapest, not the most affordable, all
Yes.
those things, because you know what? We don't sell cheap. We sell the best.
No,
Yep. You sell
the same
service.
thing. Same
Exactly.
thing.
I
Go
love
ahead.
that. So for those stores taking notes, I would make that if you're not already doing that, do that like yesterday. Like go in your store tomorrow and just it's a brief change. And if you don't know how to do it, you can reach out to me and I can show you how to do it. It's not that hard. And you can just make those changes right away going into the holidays. And my dad texted me something, and because he is living by that, I'm not going to talk, which is wow, okay. 21 minutes in, man's still quiet. But this is something that we use, and we always say only whatever the price is. So it's only $500 for this first overnight. Only it shows that to you it's not expensive, because sometimes your team and you yourself will be like, "Dang, that's a lot." You're like, "Yeah, it's I know it's a lot. It's $500." You're already setting yourself up for failure. Go in with those options that, hey, listen, it's only $500, because in your mind you have to first change your mindset. This is first overnight. They need this there no matter what. So change your mindset first, and that will translate over to your guests. If you yourself are going in and like, man, my prices are high. I mean, you got to stay in business. I mean, you got to change your mindset there. You can't be thinking that your prices are too high. Your prices are never too high. We talk about the price triangle, right? It's price, quality, and service. And as a store, as any business, you can only pick two. And some stores will do price and price, which is the worst thing you can do. But we as stores should always strive to do service and quality. When you have those two things, you create something called value. And when your value is here and your price is lower than value, doesn't matter what that price is. As long as that value is greater, you will always have a customer or guest who's going to be happy and not complain. And those people that have a problem with that, then those are not your clients. So
Yep.
always aim to create value by doing things like this, by creating those relationships and by saying
It's so
only.
true.
I think it's great.
So true. And we do that too, Marty. We never say cheapest. It's banned in my store. You're not allowed to. We
Yeah.
always say the best choice for you
Like,
would be this option. And
exactly.
they stick by it. You'll never hear that, because
love
they
that.
know, especially if I'm in the store, they'll be like, the best choice for you would be.
Because your guests will be like, oh my God, I want the cheapest option. This could go, this is one thing I always get. Just send it on mule, send it on donkey. I don't care. Just get it there the slowest way possible, And that's when you tell yourself, oh, the best option for you, sir, will be this.
Yes.
You mentioned something, Crysta, about team members and how your
Mhm.
team will never say it.
Yeah.
Do you at your store do something like a team meeting before the holidays to get everybody on the same page? Could
Yep,
you talk a
we
little bit
do.
about that?
We do team meetings pretty regularly. And I like to get them together, especially before the holidays. We'll go out to dinner
I love
and
that.
just talk about our strategies for the upcoming
So you're gonna
holidays.
spend money on your team and take them out to dinner?
100%.
Wow. Like once you go like
100%.
okay, how
They,
can you afford to do that as a small business? How can you take your entire
oh,
team out for food? Wow.
it's my really high prices.
Yeah. When your margins
No,
are good, right?
it's putting that, investing into your team and
Mm,
making them feel valuable and making them feel like they're
love that.
worthwhile and building that team. So they know that they're important to me, their families are important to me. Like at Halloween, I took gift baskets to my employees that had kids, little treat
Wow.
baskets to their kids, and said, these are for your kids. It was on the counter in the morning when they opened, like, take these home tonight. These are for your kids. And then when we do our team meetings, I send out the agenda beforehand so they can tell me anything they want to add to it.
Oh, I
And
like that.
then we have dinner. We usually do something fun, and we have our meeting and we talk about what needs to happen, our hours, things we need to improve on, things we want to do.
Yeah.
Holiday deadlines, things like that. So they're aware of all of the information. They have their ducks in a row. When people
Yes.
say, what
Expectations,
is the
right? What
last
to expect.
day?
Yeah.
When can this happen? They know it because we've
And
gone over it.
yeah.
And we have it posted in the back room too, so they can see it, and up front for everyone to see, but also for the employees to see whenever they're working.
I love
I
that.
saw a question about, do they get paid for their time at the meeting? Yes, they do.
Absolutely.
They do.
Absolutely. As stores, we should never be trying to nickel dime our team members, anyone for that matter. But when it comes to our team, you have to treat them like family and you have to put yourself in their shoes. How would you, as a team member, like to be addressed and treated? If
Yep.
you would like, wouldn't you appreciate getting paid hourly for your time? And what does that do for your team, Crysta? Don't they work harder for you? Don't they show up on time and they're there like even earlier? Like because they know what you're doing for them. So they don't want to let you down. The worst thing for our team, and I'm sure it's the same for you, is if I were to say, hey, I'm disappointed, I expected better. I never have to yell at my team or if I'm just like, hey, I expected or I'm a little disappointed if they make a major blunder. And it's that to them is the worst thing you could say because they're like, man, this person this is like my this is like my brother's, my family member who's invested in me so much and they've taken care of me so much and I let them down,
Yep. And I've had employees say, like, I would stay here and work for you because you care about me and you care about my family, over going somewhere, even if they would pay me more, because I'm valued here. You
Yeah.
take care of me. You've cared about me and my family and who I am. It's way more important to me than my wage. Not that they don't care about their
Yeah,
paycheck,
of course,
obviously,
but
but
it just shows.
it's the way that you invest into your team.
Mhm.
And we have a team group chat that honestly half the time it has nothing to do with work.
It just shows everyone just you got to
They'll
mute it
text
sometimes,
on
right?
their way to work and they're like, I saw something funny, and like they've created this environment where they want to talk to each other. They want to communicate about everything that has happened in their day. If something
Love
funny happens, because I have multiple stores, so if something funny happens in one store, they'll tell everybody else so we can all talk about it. And I make sure to comment on that. And I send you can do deliveries from local stores like Walgreens, Walmart, Target. And so during the holidays, I'll have cookies delivered or their
Ooh.
favorite drinks delivered, stuff like that, if I can't get there, so that they have that. And kind of like Marty was saying about cookies, we do big cookie platters in our store as well. Also for our drivers, and drink stations for our drivers to come in and grab, but also for our
I love that.
team members.
Drivers is huge. Do you do anything special for your drivers during the holidays or after the holidays is over? Look to take care of them to show them that wow, you work so hard for me. Here's a little thank you, like any kind of gift card or something like that.
Yep, they get a gift card and a Christmas card from us at the end of the
But they're
holidays.
just doing their job. Why would you give them something extra? They're getting paid to do their job. They're not your employees.
Because they work very hard for me.
Mm.
And they will come back if something is forgotten for me.
Wow.
Or like my US mail driver scans every single package in my store before he puts them in the van
Really?
and spends time. And actually today I had a line and he was going through and greeting all my customers and saying, "Oh, she'll be with you in a minute. Don't worry. You're in great hands,"
That's
while
beautiful.
he's doing
Wow.
his job.
I love that. I love that. That's
So
amazing.
yeah.
Yeah, just touching base on that team meetings. We've done it for the last 10 years at our store, and we do them like every month or every other month. And for the holidays, we have like a mandatory one that we're about to have on Small Business Saturday, right before like
Mm.
because Thanksgiving to Christmas is kind of the busiest time for our stores. So it's we do that mandatory meeting that everyone's got to be there, but obviously pay them for their time, going over expectations, things to look for, special holiday hours, last dates to ship, getting all those things, and then just talking about the importance of being meticulous and just being focused and locked in, because so much happens, and you're gonna have pro packs, and you're gonna have packages going out, and you're gonna have all these different carriers coming in. So, making sure the packages go in the right bin and the right packages go in the right boxes and not mixed up. And I'm sure that's happened to all of us where we're trying to do a pro pack, things are together and things happen. So it's just being on your A game every time and just reminding those team members that, hey, this is it. This is our season. So we got to lock in. Do you have
Yeah.
like a thing for your team where you're like, you know what, these are the kind of dates that you can't take off or like can't put in or something that you're like,
Yes.
so they have like those
They know as
expectations?
soon as Thanksgiving hits, don't ask for time off. Like,
Because they
just
know
don't
that's
even
it. Yeah,
think about it.
exactly.
The only exceptions I make are for your kids, like holiday
Yeah,
programs.
of course.
Obviously, I want you to
Definitely.
be there for those. I don't want your kids sitting there like, my mom couldn't come because they wouldn't give her the day off. So that's the most important. Go see your kids.
Yeah.
So they know to get me those dates as soon as possible when they get them from the schools. But other than that, Thanksgiving I prefer New Year's, but at least get me to Christmas Day.
Yeah, definitely. Now, mistakes happen all the time, right?
Yes.
How do you deal when a team member makes a mistake, especially during the holidays? How are you handling that situation?
You just are going to correct it as quickly as you can.
Mhm.
Figure out what needs to be done to correct it for the guest that had it
I love it.
happen.
I've converted you.
Converted me. For the guest that had it happen, obviously, I really feel it's so important not to yell at your team, not to
Patience,
put
being
them
patient with them.
down, not to make them feel, they already feel bad. They know that they made a mistake. I know when I make a mistake, I feel horrible. So I don't want someone making me feel worse. Like, it's going to happen. We all make
Mhm.
mistakes. So let's address it.
Definitely.
Let's fix it. Let's move forward. If there's some coaching or correcting that needs to happen, we'll do that when the time is appropriate. But the first thing to do is say, okay, thank you for letting me know. Let's see how we can fix this as quickly as possible and make it right.
100%.
And I never put them down. I
I
never
love
say,
that.
I can't believe you did this. What is wrong with
Yeah.
you? Say, okay, it happened. Let's fix it.
100%.
Because, like I said, I don't want someone to yell at me when I make a
Yeah.
mistake. That's a
It's
horrible
just
feeling.
empathy, right? Putting yourself in that person's shoes. They're not doing it on purpose.
No.
They're trying to do their best work, and those things happen.
Yes.
For sales goals for like the holiday season, do you as a team talk about that? Like, hey, we want to hit these kind of sales, and is it open conversation between you and your team, or not really?
We have done those. Sometimes we go back and forth. I think for my team, it's been easier when I come up with like package goals or customer
Mhm.
count goals or different,
Yeah.
they seem to respond better to those goals
Okay.
than sales goals. I think it's
Okay.
just easier for their
Yeah.
mindset. A lot of them aren't necessarily thinking sales wise, right? So
Yeah.
I'll say we want this many overnights this week, or we want this many speedy packages this week, or I would love for you to one thing that we've done is like try to convert this many drop-off customers to a shipping customer this week. We've done them to where if you get this many reviews that mention you, you get
Oh, I like the reviews. Yeah.
a prize. One thing we do is I use the FedEx rewards
Oh, yes.
for some of those goals, and I tell them whoever meets that goal at the store gets the gift card.
That's beautiful.
And so we do that because I have a lot of team members that just work at specific stores. And so
Mhm.
I'm like, if you sell the 15 first overnights, then you get the gift card.
Oh, wow. That's
And
awesome.
they will check in with me religiously. Okay, this week, how many have we sold? I need to
Yeah,
know what my goal is.
I love it. I mean, it incentivizes it, right? They're like locked in.
It
They want to
does.
do it. They're upselling it. That's beautiful. For holiday hours, are you do you have different hours for the holidays, or it's just consistent throughout the year?
No, we do add an hour at the beginning of our day. So
Okay.
we open an hour earlier. We're already open till 6. Most things in our town close at 5, so we're
Oh,
already
wow. Okay.
open pretty late. But we open at 8 during the
Wow.
holidays.
Instead of
And then
9.
our Saturday, we extend an hour on each end.
Okay. And have you seen benefit on that for the Saturdays?
Yes, for
That's
sure.
awesome. I
Do
love
you
that.
guys change yours as well?
We do, yeah, and we had tried Sundays for a few years. We've tried, we in the early parts we did like Sundays religiously from Thanksgiving to Christmas. Every Sunday we were open from like, I don't know, like 9 to 3 or something. And we didn't see the benefit in our town. We're a bedroom community, and it wasn't really, it was just more for getting caught up with work and stuff for the day, for the
Mhm.
week to come. But we didn't really see it. However, for the other hours, yes, we extend it. For Saturdays, we go till 5, and then for the other hours, we go a little bit later because things close a little bit later in our town.
Sure. That
And
makes
I
sense.
think it's so important for to posting it on socials, to be social
Yes.
about the holidays and things that you're packing and utilizing social media, correct?
Yes.
It's
It's huge.
when we have hour changes, we have any updates, any closures, any updates for the throughout the year, we love to utilize social media, and that has people following you. Whenever you have cool things throughout the holidays, or like people dress up or have their holiday costumes and stuff, do you take pictures of that and use social media?
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
We always post them. My employee, Paul, pretty typically closer to Christmas will dress up as Santa or wear a Santa hat.
Yeah.
Or I also let my team members wear like ugly Christmas
Oh, okay,
sweaters a
yeah,
lot
yeah.
during the holidays. And so we'll take pictures of like, oh my gosh, who had the ugliest sweater? Or one year I know we did pumpkins. I can't remember if we did gingerbread houses too, but we did like a competition and posted it on social media, like vote for whose you like the best.
Wow.
And that was really fun. Our community really liked that, and so did our team. They thought that was great.
That's awesome. Real
But
quick
I think using video too a lot on your social media is really helpful.
and helpful, right? And you see a lot of interaction on that.
Yeah.
I think it's beautiful. Before and I want to give the AMBC crew a heads up. I have one more point to mention, but if you all like the AMBC team that's here, if you have anything to add, I'm going to open it up in about 1 to 2 minutes to add value added items. Same thing for you, Marty, for my dad, for the AIM High team, before we go into the tour of ISC.
Mhm.
The last thing I wanted to mention was the importance of social media, not just for the holidays, but for those stores that aren't using it yet or are not really consistent. How important is it to be social and to have social media for your store? Like, do you see ROI? Do you make any money from it? Like, why would I want social media as a store in the 21st century today?
It's so important. One thing that we do, so we send a thank you card each week to all of our new guests that come into our store that week. And we include a QR code with our social media on there so they
I
can
love
start
it.
following us on social media. And we've seen a lot of new followers from that. And it helps build that relationship, right? It helps them feel connected
Awesome.
to you, like they know you, they know your team, they know what you do. And you don't want to just sell
Hmm.
on your platform. You don't want to just say like, I have this for sale or we have this at this cost, because you are building a relationship. You're having a conversation with your
Absolutely.
community. And so I've seen a lot of feedback, especially like my daughter Sophia does unboxing videos when we get new product.
Those are
And
so
people
cool.
love those so much. They look for those and they comment and they'll come in like, when's your next unboxing video with Sophia? We haven't seen one in a while. So it
Wow.
just builds that communication and relationship with your
I love that.
community, I think.
And it's like subliminal marketing because you're not going to be outwardly soliciting that, oh, come in, we have $2 printing, or you're showing a story, you're being social, you're showing a day in the life and showing cool things you're doing for the community, cool projects you've done, cool things you've shipped and packed and printed and done. And in turn, it automatically shows anyone else watching, oh, wow, you do printing or you do fat heads or you do this or that without you actively saying it. it happens. And you'd be
Yes.
surprised how much business you get from that. People that had no idea, now they found you and they're like, oh wow, that's so cool. I'm gonna go in and get that service.
That's very true. I wanted to circle back to the hours. I saw someone asking when we start those, and that I usually start Black Friday right after Thanksgiving.
Okay, yeah, same here. Yeah, right after that, it's a good time. I want to open it up real quick for any of the AMBC and AIM High team to put in any thoughts, any value added items. Norman, Tommy, Steve Merrick, Marty, I think
Perfect.
McClan, yeah, David.
I want to mention what Norman just put in the chat. Social media should be education and entertainment for the most part, not strict sales. We see so many stores that are using it as a sales push, just sharing every special, sharing every coupon, sharing everything. And that just, people don't care. They don't pay attention.
Yeah.
They're going to turn you off. You want to build relationships with social media. One thing I want to mention really quick is we always were really successful with sending holiday cards. So we would send them right after Thanksgiving to not just our high spenders, not just whatever, but we would send them to those drop-off guests who have never spent a dime, but with whom we had a relationship. And we'd have fun with our cards. So like one year I just stood there and I held a cardboard star, and then my team just wrapped garland around me and made me into the Christmas tree. And we took pictures, and then that was our holiday card. Another year we had all of our faces in different ornaments. So we had fun with it. It was a hello from us to you, dear neighbor kind of thing, not solicitational. So we always did that. We are at 20 after, so I think Fahim is going to get ready. He's going to take his cell phone and do a quick tour of the Island Ship Center holiday decorations. The last 20 minutes we want to have for comments and questions. And while Fahim's getting ready, if AMBC or AIM High coaches or board members have a little tidbit they'd like to add, we'd love to hear it.
Just one thing I wanted to say, 40 minutes, Yusuf. I was quiet for 40 minutes.
41.
41.
You did good. You did good.
You did really
Only
good.
because Steve Merrick asked, and it's one of the best videos ever. Where should they watch? Crysta, can you just talk about the importance of that video? You spend like, what, $5,000 a year to do that YouTube video, and it just, the ROI is insane. And I've been watching you every year. People in your community have been watching you every single year. Your kids have grown up. I heard about this video in 2018 in Hutchinson, Minnesota, when we were there, and Steve Merrick showed it, and we were blown away. A year before, I think, you know, we had just met. I had just met you. You know, like it's like we've been like BFFs forever, but we just met in 2018 June. You know, not like I remember dates or anything. But anyway,
No.
can you just let me know? Do you want me to allow you to share your screen?
Oh gosh. I have
And
to see if I
then
can find
where
it.
can they find it? So then we can record it here. If they go to YouTube, what do they put
Yeah.
on? Like Pack and Mail, Cloquet. Oh, sorry, how do you
Coming
pronounce the town? I'm really bad.
Okay.
Cloquet, it's French name.
Yeah.
Sorry. I know.
Actually, and if you give me 2 seconds, I can find it. But yes, our
I've got it right here. I'm going to put it in the chat. Is that
oh,
okay?
thank
Yeah.
you.
Let's
You're
Put it in
amazing.
the
Marty.
chat. Yeah,
You're
so that's for
amazing.
Steve Merrick, and
Look at
then
me being all techie.
yeah,
Woohoo!
and then I'm
But
gonna
yes, we have done this. It's a commercial that we do every year. We started, oh my gosh, 2011, I think
Oh,
we started
wow.
doing commercials with our kids, and they've grown up in front of our community, like he said. We're filming our current one this Friday, so yay. And my spend has increased a lot on that, so I'm spending a lot more on what I did. But this year I'm adding in like pre-roll online, so it'll be on their online news
Oh, I love it.
commercials and some of their YouTube videos and some of their social media, and they're going to promote some social media as well. So definitely talk to your marketing network executives in your area, because they will find an option for you in your price range, no matter what it is. But it has built a huge following in our area. We've already had people asking, have you filmed it yet? When is it coming out? Are the kids still going to be in it? We know your daughter's at college. She is. She's coming back. She's doing the commercial. So
Yes, to come
yes,
back just for the commercial.
I mean, she's 20 minutes away, but
Yeah, it's not a big deal.
but yeah, it's huge. It's
Should we
really
play it
big.
for the team here? Should we play it for everyone here?
Yeah, you can absolutely. I don't know which one's in there, but absolutely you can play it.
Marty, I hope you picked a good one.
I hope you
I
picked a
picked
good one,
the
Marty.
2018 one because that's the year Fahim mentioned, so probably the one he was thinking about.
Oh yeah.
They're all good. They're all good.
It's the oh pack and mail, oh pack and mail.
Yes.
That one.
I'm
Yeah.
trying to go into my store right now because you wanted a tour, and I switched to my
Yes.
phone, which is why it's dark. Because if you don't give people something to remember,
I was
is
trying to
everybody
see.
awake?
We'll
Okay.
do that real quick. If everyone could focus on Fahim's screen, he's going to give us
Yeah.
a quick tour of the Island Ship Center holiday
Okay,
deck.
so we're gonna just open it
Can
up and
we-
see.
If he can get the lights on. There we go.
Okay,
Okay,
you got it.
So
And I
Dad,
got
you
it on my
gotta
phone.
keep talking for the thing to come up big on my computer.
Which one?
I know it's hard for you. You gotta just keep talking so people can just see it on their main screen.
I have to keep talking.
It's
Yep.
going to be hard, but you can do it, Fahim.
We have
Okay.
faith in you.
Okay, so this is how the store looks. And by the way, we started on November 1st, and October 31st, like everything was fall, Halloween and everything. And Seema just went to town working like 13 hours, which is why, and she's been working like every day, 13 hours and getting it. And so we have this whole thing, if you can just see, so those are our counters, right? And of course we have our beautiful mats that people have seen when they come to train. And we have, of course, guest facing screens. These are really important. By the way, at the Postmate training in Miami now, Karen announced that these are really, really necessary now. Like you can't really live without them. So if you haven't, please, whatever extra money that you make from the holiday season, spend it. I think they're like $79 on Amazon, and connect it and call, Postalmate or ShipRite and get these screens up because it's really important. People don't want to like go over and, so we have these. That's, by the way, this is, I put this in the forums, but like these posters just clean. The screen is playing usually in the daytime. We've got all our mailers completely like done. So this is, like all our padded mailers are here, and now everything is just Christmas and holiday and, just happy, joy, peaceful, and just share the joy. And of course, this is thanks to Marty. These are the frames for our services. Just make them very simple but powerful. Less is more. And so we have like Seema design. Before you used to have a whole thing, but now less is more. So they come in, they are able to, while they're waiting in line, it's like this Marshall's effect. We have this here, and then the quilling cards, and this. I mean, everything is just decked out. And of course, Seema's soaps are here, and everything is just. Yusuf's wife actually made these this year. There's some. And then of course this trophy husband socks that Seema got for me, and I sell these things because I tell people, you don't want me to wear these socks, and then this thing says like world's okayest brother, just stuff like you got to get stuff that's local candles, please do local, and then positively green. We do have a line for men, socks about dad jokes and stuff like that. Just very organized. Everything has to be really organized, cleaning every day, as you know. And then these books sell really well, cards, and all of these things. If you email Seema, it's Seema@islandshipcenter.com. If you email her, she will send you her list of vendors. So going forward, her direct email is Seema@islandshipcenter.com. If Marty, you want to put it in the chat, she'll be more than happy to send it to you. Also, every single day now, so she's got this. So we call this area is her boutique. So it's called Seema Boutique, and then SeemaBoutique.com forwards to SeemasNaturals.com, which is her natural site. And then every single day now, she created these coupons, save the date coupons, so that it's, you get a free soap. Please come here Saturday, the 30th of November. And it's Small Business Saturday. And it's very, very important. Norman said a really important thing. Your store has to fit your brand. So like when you go to Norman stores, like the coffee's amazing, but like some of the cards I couldn't show my kids like under 12 because they're like profanity, but they sell, right? Like they're just amazing. Also, this coloring tablecloth for Thanksgiving, this was Seema's genius this year. She got it on Canva, designed it, and now we're selling it for $14.99. We only have like 15 in stock. We already stole like 8. Okay, so just everything has to fit your store. By the way, this is printed in-house on our wide format, and it's branded, and this code scans on Postalmate in our POS. Then for grandmothers, one final thing. I know, this is what happens. I stay quiet for 41 minutes. I talk for 8. This letterhead thing Seema made, this is really cool Crysta, you're gonna love this because we have grandmas who want to do like, you know, like Christmas letters. So she made a whole book of letterheads for the holiday. Then they get to pick which one would you like? Would you like this, or would you like this, or would you like this, or would you like this? And 100 letters. Oh, Seema, you're amazing. Send the Word document. That's the only time we accept Word documents. And then you just scan it on the back. And these are the things: $25 setup plus 65 cents for 1 to 24, and then each of our team members can just scan it. And so that's how we do these. Yeah, okay, so that's the new letterhead. That's the new for 2024. And then 20% off your holiday order. And then she does this: holiday printing, holiday cards, calendars, plaques, canvases, posters, and more. And stuff like that. So just make sure you provide. So there's nothing wrong with selling. Oh, thanks, Brad. There's nothing wrong with selling it as long as you're telling the story. Like I know it's hard for you to tell on Zoom, but I really get excited about this stuff. Okay, so every single guest that comes in, I'm like, did you see this book? It's all about your dad. And then this person came in and he's fighting cancer, and I'm like, you want to leave this to your son? And you know, I love you, Jim, and we've been together for like 10 years, and I've seen his entire, you know, and his son's in the Navy, just like, you know, Steve's son, and it's just like, it's heart-wrenching. So what can we do? So make sure that you're connecting with people with heart and being human. And the one thing I like to say, Valerie, the letterheads are from like the Canva design, but they're our own paper. So yes, you can pick the Canva designs. In the age of AI, like write this down somewhere, clients crave conversation, and clients craving conversation, when you create conversation, that will lead to cash flow. Hashtag Fahim Picks. And I'm out. Go ahead.
Wonderful. Thank you, Fahim. And I want to point out, and if you didn't notice, the way that their retail is arranged now, he mentioned it, but I don't know if everyone caught it. It's the Marshall's model. So you have to walk around almost like a maze through the retail to get to the front counter, so that when they get a line, people are waiting with retail at hand and they're shopping. They're not just standing there staring. That's brilliant. I love that. Yeah. Do that. We have 9 minutes left. I'd love to see some questions and comments in the chat if there's anything we can answer for you. Or if you'd like to raise your hand, then we can unmute you and take them that way as well.
Great.
I was going to comment, I saw Brad saying, don't forget about music and holiday aromas. We added the plugins with a brown sugar vanilla scent. Every single person that walks into our store says, it smells amazing in here. What scent is it? And I had people that went and bought it and said, it doesn't smell the same. I don't understand, but I love it. I went and bought it.
and then you got Norman.
With, Pine Scent, and Pine Scent was a hit for us. It was like Christmas trees. Yeah.
Yes. Everybody asks if we're baking cookies in our store.
Sam, what is your must sell during the holidays? What's the 1 or 2 things that you must sell?
It's awesome. For us, you know what? The thing is, like Norman said, your retail has to match your brand, right? So this is not something that you're going to have completely for everybody. But my dad mentioned holiday printing and going. A lot of people during this time, and Marty, I'm sure you could talk about this, send out holiday cards, and it's such a big thing. So making sure that you emphasize how important it is and how you can be of service to the community by doing that. That, hey, we do holiday card printing, and go to town with that. As well as, and then candles sell really well for us too, you know, one retail item. But the printing thing is great because a lot of people have those holiday cards, and I once we started marketing it like we're doing now, every person that comes in, hey, give them a 20% off on the back of all the things that we print, the most important things. And they're like, oh, I need holiday cards done. So those have been great. What about you, for Crysta?
Stickers.
Obviously stickers, because I'm a huge proponent of stickers. I have so many sticker displays in all of my stores. We've done a lot with postcards this year, either making them in-house or selling them, because we have a lot of people that are visiting our area. My must sell during the holiday, honestly, for impulse item besides stickers, is chapstick, because it's cold and everybody needs chapstick. So it's at my counter. We sell a ton of those. And then we do a lot of puzzles and books, because we have an older community, and they love those.
I have a couple of must sells.
Yes, Mary.
So we sell a lot of quilly cards here. And I started framing them
Yeah, I like
sorry, I
that.
lost connection. Sorry. Can you hear me?
Yep.
Yes, we can.
Okay. So quilling cards, they sell really good here. This is a town where mermaids are big, you know, talking about connecting with your town, right? And do what flows in your town. So mermaids, it's a thing here in this town. And I have so many mermaid dolls and books related to mermaids and like little knickknacks, all mermaids, and of course quilling cards related to mermaids. But my customers really like the quilling cards, and so we frame them, and we have, my store looks a little bit like a gallery. If you ever check out my Facebook page, go to Packmill Thorpe Lane. That's my Facebook name. And you can see how we have done our displays, but every year, let's see, for the last couple of years, I started this thing where we buy, we offer our customers, if you buy 5, you get the 6th one free, and that just carried on like crazy. Like I started that out with our quilling cards, and now I offer that to, you know, for our stickers, our earrings, our Australian soaps, and basically all of our greeting cards now. And we also developed our own San Marcos, Texas line of greeting cards taken, you know, with pictures taken by yours truly. And that was an inspiration by Marty. I learned that from Marty at one of the events a while back, and that is a big hit too. So
Awesome.
all of those things just kind of sell during the year, but they sell a lot more during the holidays.
Thank you for that, Mary. And Norman brought up a great point in the chat. Thank you for that, Norman. You have to rearrange your retail. Like, we do it every 3 weeks. And that's because so many people come in with blinders. They're coming in with a drop off, and they're like, I need to drop this off and I'm leaving. Or I need to ship this package and I'm leaving. Or I need to come and get, even if they're coming in for retail, and if they're coming in for one thing in mind, they're like, I need to go get this chapstick and I'm leaving. By moving things around, they're going to be like, wait, did your store change or what happened? Even by moving one shelf or one greeting card rack from the back to the front or to the corner, you'd be so surprised. Crysta, have you seen anything like that, or Marty?
Oh yeah, I
Yeah,
move stuff all the time. Go ahead,
Yeah,
Norman.
just to kind of bounce off of that, we get people that come in and it's like, when we move things around, it's like, when did you start doing that? Well, 10 years ago, but you know, we moved it around. Now you saw it, so you know,
It works.
and it makes a difference.
Yeah.
I love that. And Norman, that is
great.
so true. Like, you'd be offering a service, you could be in business for 15 plus years, and someone comes in and be like, I didn't know you did printing. I just saw it on your social media the
Oh
other
my
day.
gosh, I hear that all the time.
You're like, I've been here for, and then we have people. So we live on a Grand Island and it's surrounded by water and it's an island and 20,000 people or whatever. And there are people that have been born and raised on the island and worked on the island, retired. They're like in their 90s or 80s. They've been there for like 50 plus years, and we've been in business almost 20. And they'll come in and they'll be like, oh, I didn't know. And we're on a main road of the thing, of the whole town. And they're like, how long you been here? I had no idea. I pass by this road every day.
Yep.
And you know, Mary, did that happen to you?
It does, and we are on a main road for sure. And I mean, we're only being here for coming up on 7 years, you know, knock on wood. But you know, our regulars, they see us doing things all the time. And sometimes they, you know, sometimes will, you know, they'll pick up on like some keywords like, oh, they're doing passport services for so and so. But you know what I just started doing? I hand out a flyer to pretty much everybody, and there's a coupon on there, and say here, and it's even if there are our regular customers, I say, here's an updated list of our services and products, even though it's the same list and I hardly made any changes, but I put a coupon on there. They don't know if it's the same or, you know, like, oh really? And I point out a couple of the big ones. I don't rattle out all of them, but I'll say, remember, we do passport renewals here without an appointment. You do that, OMG, at my aunt and my uncle, I gotta bring them over to you, and next thing you know, they show up and they bring their kids for passport photos. And you know, remember, we have a notary here all the time. You do. So I just, you know, I'll point out a couple of here and there, and it does work. And I just, here's a coupon for Christmas.
We took a cue from Marty and actually printed out different well, rack cards and flyers for different services so that, oh, shipping, printing, mailbox rentals, all these different services. We have a separate flyer for each separate, revenue stream for us, but each different service that we offer. And oh, here, oh, you're interested in this, and we can give you the flyer for that. So it's a separate one. It's not, all jumbled into one trifold brochure that nobody's going to pay attention to. So we'll give each one a separate, for our major things that we do.
That's awesome.
For
We
sure.
are at 9 o'clock, so we're going to have to wrap up the official part of the town hall meeting and the Q&A session. I want to remind everybody that there is a bonus 20 minutes that's going to start in about 1 minute, where Yusuf is going to go into specific pricing strategies, and Yusuf is a pricing savant here. He's our main guy at AIM High. Every time we do an on-site visit or remote coaching, he goes to town with people's pricing, margins, shipping margins, retail, printing, faxing, all those things to make sure that they are not leaving money on the table. So many businesses we coach, they've got a lot of things right, but their pricing's not right, so they're not making the money that they should be making. So Yusuf is going to give a bonus to those who want to stay for the next 20 minutes to talk about that. At the end, he's also going to talk about a special we have at AIM High going on, which is $2,000 off our training at our on-site headquarters and training store for 2025. So we hope you listen to that. But before we go, before we turn it over for that bonus time, I hope everyone will stay, but I understand if some can't. I just want to let you know that at AIM High, we put a whole lot of work into a lot of free content. So our social media, our blog, our free newsletter that anyone can subscribe to at aimhigh.com. Please do. We have a lot of really, really good tips and tricks out there that we would love for you to glean. And AMBC does the same thing. So AMBC has a lot of really good content out there on their website, through their social media, which Crysta manages, through MBC Today, which is, if I do say so myself, a great magazine. And then through the new AMBC-U. And if you haven't tried out the new AMBC-U, you have to go to ambcforme.org. I put all of this in the beginning of the chat, all the links you need for AIM High and AMBC. But AMBC-U is an online on-demand training platform where you could take certified courses, courses in printing, courses in guest services, and it's awesome. Kudos to Brad, who's on this call, for putting so much work into that. He's the mind behind it. So thank you. Please go to aimhigh.com, go to ambcforme.org, subscribe to all the free content, and then join in as you want. And please stick around. Yusuf, I want to take it away. Before we do that, I want to thank everyone for coming. It's been a pleasure. Thank you to all the AMBC board members who are all volunteers who gave their time tonight to help each other. #members helping members. We really appreciate everything. Okay,
Awesome.
Yusuf, school them on pricing.
Let's do it. Dad, can you make me a host so I can share my screen? Thank you. Before I begin, I want this session to be a little bit more interactive. Rather than me just talking the entire time, we're going to basically go over 5 to 6 different services that we offer in our stores. We're going to do end retail items. And I want to ask everyone here what they charge. And you can just put it in the chat. You don't have to go on unmute yourself to put in the chat kind of what you do, make it kind of quick. And then I will let you know what we charge and where you should be at competitively. These are all pricings that we haven't just made up. These are pricings that we have come up with over the years with our experience, expertise, where you need to be to make a profit and stay in business and with the quality and service that we're offering. So before I start, a little disclaimer, and I see a few people here that I did some pricing strategies with a few days ago, today as well. And they were very, very low. And they had quite a shock. They're like, oh my God. So some of you may have that shock. There's nothing wrong with having that shock, but there is something wrong with not implementation. Ideas are great. Ideas are cheap. But if you don't implement, then you will never take your business to the next level. So everything you've learned here today, please implement at least 2 or 3 things to grow your business. I mean, I don't want to go to rant here. I'm going to go right into my pricing, but I go to all the Postmate trainings and all the things for AIM High, and I see the same people there. And they come to my booth and with the same exact problems that I've given solutions to. And I'm just like, you're spending this money in a hotel and you're coming out to these trainings, but you're not implementing anything. And only 3% of people actually implement. So don't be the 97%, be the 3%ers, implement and execute whenever you can, whenever you get a good idea, try to go ahead and implement it for your store. That's how you're gonna go to the next level. Marty, can you see the screen? Perfect, great. So this is our postal mate. These are kind of what our buttons look like. And I want to start off with a book of stamps. How much do you all charge for a book of stamps? And Marty, just read it off if you can. You can unmute yourself.
All right, we have $15, $15.60, $16, $20, $50, $15, $18.
Wait. Who
I
said
feel like an auctioneer. This is fun.
This is great. Who said
looks like
$20.50?
$20.50. We've got 20. We've got 19. We're getting a lot of prices across the board, but it looks like so far Crysta is our winner with $20.50. A close second with Mary Bray, who's posing as Brad Risch tonight at $20.
I noticed that. We're at $19.95.
At 16. Stacy is at 19. Not bad.
Perfect.
Now hit us with yours, Yusuf.
Thank you. And I just put it up there. And Marty, you can just mention 4 or 5 prices and mention the highest if you can, and then we'll go on from there.
$20.50 from Crysta is the highest so far. We've got down to about $15 on the low end.
Perfect. $19.95 is where you need to be at a minimum for your store. And the reason where this you need to be, and I have stores that always push back and they're like, well, how can I do that? I buy it for, I don't know, 14. I don't even know what the price of stamps is anymore because I just know what I sell it for, you know? And that's because it's an added service that you're offering at your store. You're not the post office, you know? You are a independent pack and ship store. You're offering service and quality and value. So people come there because they don't have to wait in long lines and get good service and good smells and treated with respect. And that's why you're going to charge what you're going to charge. Same thing with individual stamps. Individual stamps, no, the post office doesn't sell it. You are probably one of the only, if you're the only independent in your area, you're the only one that's selling independent stamps. So what are we charging for just one book of one stamp? Someone comes in, I got to mail this out for one stamp. Just a few people can chime in real quick.
We've got $1, 90 cents, 80 cents.
Perfect. Thank you.
80, 90, $1 about. Yep.
So I have $1.20. This should be $1.30 actually. You should not be below $1.30 because you're a person that just walked in the door. They have a need. They have this one thing that needs to go out. This post office is going to make them buy a whole book of stamps wherever they go. You're offering that service. And I don't know if Steve Merrick's still here, but he laughs at this because he's like, man, I never used to sell single stamps, and that was a thing of the past, and no one did it. But we have to understand they're coming in. They have that one thing they need to ship out. You mark up that bad boy. You know, you make your profit because you're going out of your way. You're getting a book and you're taking one thing off. It should not be lower than $1.30. A quick question for you all for printing. Not a question, but a statement here. When somebody comes in and they have to print a resume from their email, or they have to let's say print a label or send an order to postcards or business cards or sending you a file. Anytime you're printing something from an email, a file, are we all charging a printing fee for that? That service that you are doing right now. Crysta, I see you nodded your head. That's great.
We've got $2. $2.
Perfect.
Yep.
Thank
no.
you.
$2.
No, okay. And whoever that said no, please tomorrow go in and put that button in.
Got a $3.50 one.
Ooh, I like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so we're at 3. And 3 is where you want to be. If you're a little lower, it's fine. But I would love for you to be at 3 or higher for that service. This is a service you're offering. You have to see the trend of where we're going. So my demographics, the Gen Zs, everyone from in their 20s and 30s, we don't own printers. And that's a thing of the past. The ink dries up. We don't do enough printing to own one. So we're trying to come in and get something done and leave. For that, there's a service because you as a store owner, you're owning the printing, you're the paper, the cost, the lease, if it's a lease, you are paying for the ink, which is more expensive than blood. It's crazy. I mean, there's so many different things associated with that. Payroll, you have so many different costs. And it's a service at the end of the day you're offering them. They're coming in to have something done. You are not selling that item. We have to get in our mindset as store owners that we sell service, we sell quality and value, we don't sell on price. So $3, please, for your print service. Make that and go getting for those people that said $2 or $2.50 or even $1.50. We're right in time for the holidays. This is the perfect time. Increase it to $3 as we get into the holiday season.
There's one question. Yeah, can you read that question?
Yeah, I was just going to do that, Fahim.
Go ahead.
Daniel
go ahead.
asked,
And then read also my response on an earlier thing.
You got it. I'll read Fahim's response first. He says it's $3 per file. So if they have three files in an email, it's going to be $9 print charge.
Correct.
So that's important to note as well. And once people get used to it, they get used to it and they're fine with it. I just want to add a little anecdote to that. I sold my store last January or last end of December. So I am storeless now, and I'm actually going to retail shipping stores. I've made good friends at my local one, and I'm paying for all these things retail that I always either got at cost or I just did, you know how you do sometimes. And so I am overjoyed, and every time I go in, I'm like, please charge me more, please charge me more. I want to support them. I want to pay retail rates, and I'm encouraging them to like increase their printing, increase their shipping margins every time, because I want to pay more because the service they are giving me and the value they're adding to me is saving me so much time in my new busy whatever. So from the guest's perspective, if they are your demographic, a busy professional, they are not going to mind spending that money. Daniel asked, what if a competitor is is within 1 mile and offering printing for free? So Yusuf, if you could address that, first of all, address the why you are not pricing based on what neighboring businesses or competition are pricing.
Absolutely. Thanks for bringing that up, Marty. Destination. So the post office, the UPS store, I don't care if it's next door to you in the same plaza, they are not your competition, and they only are if you think they are. It is your mindset as a store owner. You went into business to do what? To make money, correct? But that's not the only reason it can be. It has to be something more. It has to be to make a difference. It has to be to leave a legacy. It has to be to give back. And when you do that, when you go into business to make a difference and make an impact, then you end up making more money than those store owners and those businesses that got into business to just make money. That is the difference between a relationship-based business and a transactional-based business. And I can guarantee you all here that in your town, you are probably the only or one of the only stores that is aiming to be a relationship-based business. Everyone nowadays is all in it to step on each other for that money, for $1 here, $1 there, and trying to make that transaction today. We as stores and we at AIM High at AMBC always promote relationships and always give back to your community. And what can you do to be a giver? Because givers always gain. We love that saying. And it's true. It's absolutely true. So that being said, when you provide service and quality, you have to price accordingly. And when somebody comes in, and I love this saying, and I don't like the cheaper or part, but when somebody comes in, they're like, well, you're so much more expensive than the post office. Well, we're 20 minutes cheaper, or 20 minutes, better because it's the line's there. Or I'm sorry, we sell service here. It's you have to have a little bit of confidence. And I get there's some new stores here and they're like, well, I want to get customers in the first day. Start trying to focus on the relationships and making a difference, and those guests will come in. And you don't have to be with the pricing I'm telling you right now, but please don't be at your old pricing.
Yusuf, Cindy just said, I tend to over-explain or apologize for a price. How do you politely and professionally tell them this is your price, period? I'd like to comment how I used to do it, and then I'd like to hear how you do it, Yusuf. I would flat out tell people, I would look them straight in the eye and be like, I do not compete on price, I compete on service. And I would just leave it there. They'd usually shut up and they'd be like,
I love it.
oh, here's my money. So that's just I'm straight up with it. I'm not that neighboring store. I'm not the UPS store on my block. I am way above and beyond them. So please expect to pay my prices if you want my service. So and I'd say that kindly. I'd say it with a wink. I'd say it with like, a cookie. Here's a cookie and a beautiful store and an organized store and all that things. But Yusuf, how do you handle that?
Number one tip for you all and for you, Cindy, don't sell to the unsellable. So somebody comes in and they are questioning your price because clearly they haven't seen the value that you as a store provides. To them, price is the most important thing. And to you as a store owner, it's not. So what Marty just said, I love that. And I would add on to that I'm sorry, we sell service. You may have gotten it wrong, but we sell service at this location. We pride ourselves on quality and service and providing value to our loyal guests that come in here. As a result, there's a price associated with that, and at that point, less is more. You don't have to go into long explanations and I'm sorry, I'm trying to stay in business. And I used to do that too. When I started earlier on, I would always feel bad. I'd be like, well, we have bills to pay. And no one gives a crap about that. They come in and they're not going to be like, oh, well, we all got bills to pay. Because then they would have a rebuttal for everything. But what Marty just said and what I'm telling you is when you go in and have that confidence that what you're providing, you are giving something no one else is. that shuts them right up, or they walk out the door and be like, I'm sorry, if this is not something you value as a person, then maybe this is not the best option for you. You may have to go down. And Steve Merrick, I loved it. Steve Merrick, I don't know if he's still on. I would love to say he would have business cards of his competitors right under the counter, his local UPS store. You know, I cannot assist you here, but go right down and see Brad down the street. He can take great care of you, you know, and recommend that person, because clearly you don't appreciate what I'm offering here. It's fine. So it comes in with that confidence, and that'll build, you know, it won't happen overnight, but you have to, it starts with our own mindset. It starts with us telling ourselves, we mentioned it earlier, and I'm gonna mention it again because it's so important. Don't shop with your own wallet. When you as a store owner don't think you're expensive, that's the first step. You have to first tell yourself, why are you in business and what are you offering? Once you know and your team members know, it's just as important for your team to be, because we would have a lot of issues with our own team hesitating and kind of not confident in telling them the price. They'd be like, oh, well, you know, you should probably just take it to the post office. We're too expensive. How are you going to start a conversation like that when someone comes in for a quote? You know, hey, how's it going? Show the value from the first entrance. They walked in, you greeted with a smile, asked them how their day was, and you led those things. All those things there's a price associated with it.
Yusuf, we got 2 more real quick comments. I know you want to get to a couple more examples of pricing, and we have 5 minutes left. So we're going to really quickly. Lisa asked, she always gets the question about how they compare to corporate stores in the post office. And then Andy asked if you display any prices in your store. So real quick, if you could address those and then show 1 or 2 more pricing things. And then I'd like at the end, because we need to end by about 9:20, for you to just mention to people who would like to access some of the AIM High services, like direct coaching, to talk about pricing, to really dig in and show all of everything, how they do that.
Okay, thank you, Marty. First thing is, do you display any prices in your store? Yes and no. So for our printing fee and kind of like our little ancillary fees, we have it right behind the counter, as well as a taping fee. I wanted to go over that, and for the last, if we go over a couple minutes, please forgive me, we'll probably go till 9:22.
Okay.
But I'm just going to go ahead and mention kind of the other services that we have and what the pricings are. But Andy, yes, we do have the pricings listed behind us for like the printing and the taping fee, but not for like shipping or those kind of things. That's what we give quotes for. The other question was, when people ask you, how do you compare to your prices? And I love what I said earlier. We're 20 as a joke, in jest, but kind of get the message across. Well, we're 20 minutes cheaper than the post office. Not saying that you're more expensive, but kind of just, hey, I mean, we're 20 minutes cheaper than the post office, or something else that store is not known for, something that you provide. You don't want to be like, well, we're the most expensive place in town. That you very well may be, but you don't want to go with that attitude, you know. And then kind of just take 30 seconds. Well, we price ourselves in service and quality, and it looks like they don't, so we are a slightly higher. But if you appreciate that, if that's something you are looking for as a customer, then this is a place that you're going to want to do business.
And it's also value added. Like we do a lot of coaching with our clients about mailbox rates and how you can charge $30 for a small mailbox per month. Easy, because you have additional services that come with that. You're not just getting a mailbox, you're getting pick to mail, you're getting all these things with it. So add-ons, and what can you add to the value of that price? So they're not just getting this for this price, they're getting this plus this for that price.
Okay, so 3 more things here. 5 things I want to get over. I want to do taping fee, scanning fee, faxing, and the second 2 things is profit margins and mailboxes. Real quick, all right? Just bear with me, y'all. For taping fee, we charge a taping fee now. In the beginning, when we started, we're like, oh, we want to be different than everybody else and do taping for free, and you know that makes it more welcoming. I'm sorry, that's great. This is a service you're offering. It's not a fee, so it's a taping service. You'll have guests come in every single day with drop-offs that have their labels in their hand, their boxes wide open, and they're going to be like, oh, I'm just dropping off, you know. Now you have to go and offer that service of taping up the box and taping up the label. There's a fee associated with that. There's a service that you're doing. Charge a taping fee, a $2 service. And what I like to do with this taping service is you can pick and choose. So if somebody new comes in and they've never been to your store and they have a drop off, win them over by saying, you know, normally we have a $2 taping service fee. I can waive that for you today. It's your first time here. I want you to welcome you in, and here's a brochure. And that automatically they're gonna be like, oh wow, thank you so much. If it's someone coming regular or whatever, go to town and offer that, and you gotta charge it. $2 taping service. Second thing is faxing. Now this will wake a lot of you all up. You guys are we as an industry are severely undercharging for faxing. If you look at the local competition, UPS or FedEx office, they are charging $3-4 a page. Why are we trying to be less than them? I need you to be at cost or higher. I had a lady come in the other day. She went to the FedEx office to fax 12 pages or 11 pages faxed. It cost her $44. $44 for 11, 12 pages. So we recommend to our clients and to you all, you should be at $3 a page for faxing, per page for faxing. $3 a page. We don't even fax anymore. That's a different story for a different time. So I can't even click the button. Finally, for the office services, scanning. I want you all to be at $2 a page for scanning. I was with a client today, and she told me that she charges $2 or $3 for the first page and 15 cents per page after that. And I was horrified. I was like, oh my gosh, we need to start charging for what you're offering, because you are a service-based business and you are a relationship-based business. People love you. Your clients absolutely adore you, but you're severely undercharging. Please, you're leaving so much money on the table. I would love everybody to be at $2 a page for scanning or higher. And I know there's a few people here that are like, that would never work in my town, or those prices would never work. You're in a rich community. You're in an area that people can pay. You're in Scottsdale, Arizona. Well, to those, all of you thinking that in your head, you are incorrect. We are in a bedroom community that is very cheap and frugal and don't like to spend their money. We're surrounded by water on all sides. People work off the island. There is no business on the island. No one comes on the island to do business because of a toll. So we've worked so hard to invest in our relationships, in our community, and give back and give back and give back, that now we've created loyal guests and clients. So now we can charge these prices and people are paying it. And from the beginning, you can charge these prices by offering those service and quality. So no, we are not in a rich area, or we're not in an area that is having so much development and we have so many customer counts. No, it's a mindset, and you have to, what value is coming with that price? You have to be offering value with the price. All right, two more things. Profit margins. I'm not going to go into the settings, but let me just verbally say it here. You should be anywhere between 55 to 68% for your profit margins. So FedEx Express, you need to be at 68% for your profit margins. For post office, nothing lower than 55%. Someone else I was discussing, they're at 35%. I mean, you need to stay not even making a profit. Are you even like staying in business? I need you to be at 55% for USPS, and then for FedEx ground and UPS ground, you should be at 66%, and Express can be 68%. That's where we're at. Continuing on to the final and most important discussion before we close up here, our mailboxes. And hold on to your seats, folks. Here we go for a roller coaster. Because I've seen some of y'all pricings, and I'm glad you're on. For a whopping 1 year for a personal box, so we're personal, business, corporate, we're at $359.40. That comes out to $35 a month. If they prepay for the year, you get a 20% discount. So that comes down to $30 a month. For the personal, for the business, you're at $47.94. For the corporate, you're at $59.94. That, and anyone that prepays for the year, they're getting a 20% discount. Now, with these mailbox pricings, we are huge on value. So when somebody comes into your store and they're like, hey, I want to open a mailbox, or I'm interested in a mailbox, do not be like, oh, we have so many, or please, thank you. You need to keep your composure and then tell them the value added items they get with your mailbox before telling them the price. Oh, great. Well, we have 3 different sizes: personal, business, corporate. How much mail do you get? Do you have businesses? Ask those intro level questions. Once you figured out what the perfect size is for them, let's say it's a personal size, then tell them, well, here we're, because everyone knows what a PO box is. Not many people know what a private mailbox is. So you're educating them right there from the beginning. Well, it's sort of like a PO box, but it's way better. It's nothing like it. And let me explain to you what you get here at our facility, at our location. And then start by saying all the carriers you accept through Amazon and post office and DHL and so on and so forth. Mention, and we can do a separate call for those that are interested.
Can I mention just one special gift? Can I just say one thing?
Yeah.
Well, 2 things actually. DHL is a little tricky, Cindy. DHL has regulations. I don't think Yusuf also knows this, but this was DHL has regulations. You cannot charge more than retail. So Karen mentioned if you are 55% for DHL, you'll get by, but they are actively searching. So you really can't do more than the 55% on DHL. That was the one question. I hope that answers it. But they are really, really stringent. So if you have DHL, he'll talk to you about it on next month's call. For those of you that have stayed and, witnessed, my son taking jabs that he learned from his mother about his father, keeping quiet and all those things, the gift that I want to give you is
Can you all hear me?
our actual mailbox content contract. I am uploading in the chat for you to take as a free gift what it looks like, how we charge, and what our storage is. You're welcome. There it is, our mailbox contract for all of you, thanks to Marty, who has jushed it. So that's a gift from me to you.
So let me
Yusuf,
finish up real
one
quick
more
here.
real quick question. Yeah, incoming packages. I really think it would be a gift also if you just really quick talk about your package fee, incoming package holding, and then wrap it up.
Okay, so our incoming package fee, it starts at $7.50. So those are just packages coming in, and we do go by dimensional weight. So 30 pounds or less, you're at $7.50. Anything between 30 pounds and 70 pounds, you're at $12.50. And anything greater than 70 pounds, you're at $25. And then you get into pallets. For those of you that accept pallets, let me just tell you, you can charge $150 for a pallet and get it every day of the week. $150. And for those of you that don't have the ability to bring in a pallet into your store, if you can find a way to just store it outside for the day where the freight truck comes and puts it outside or behind your store that you can't bring it in, and just have them make a same day pickup, that's also an option. That's my pickup fee. And anytime, so we offer 10 packages a month. So anytime someone goes greater than 10 packages, they get charged that $7.50 or whatever based on the weight. Let me just continue on with some more value-added items with the mailbox to justify the pricing. So we talked about packages. We talked about different carriers. Let me talk to you about picture notifications. So for those of you, and I don't get any money for this, we just use this software, so I'm going to mention it. Nasir Pracha, he's in Dallas. He has a software called Pick-to-Mail. It allows you to send pictures and kind of take the digital mailbox model and make it for private mailboxes. So you're able to send picture notifications of packages and mail to your clients, to your mailbox holders. This will allow you to change the game if you're not already using it, because that's a new value added item that most stores are not doing. Definitely the UPS and post office are not doing it. And that allows them to manage their mail from anywhere in the world and have a physical mailbox at your location. So you're like, we offer package notifications, and you get it right in your inbox and you can see exactly what you got here. Notifications itself is a huge thing, because at post office, you're just going into your store. Here, you're offering not only notifications, but picture notifications. And then we get into authorized users and how you can get your business on there. You can put your loved one on there, and we offer, it's 3 people for the personal, and then if you get the business, then you get 5 people on the box, and then 7 people, and just so on and so forth. But value added items, these are the kind of things you want to think about when having a mailbox. We have these high prices. High, you may think. I don't think they're high. We need to change them next year, Dad. But think about this. You're also offering other things. So we offer a $10 print credit when they sign up, because you can do that. For our professional, our highest corporate box, they're paying me $5.99 for the year. Well, you know what I do for $5.99? I take their QR code returns. So I'm like, just drop off your Amazon returns that I can't scan in my system, and then afterwards I'll drive it to the UPS store. If you're paying me $600 a year, I'm going to do that. So think about different value-added items you can add on, that services that you may have in your store that you can put on there. Maybe 10% off FedEx Express shipments. That's how you can increase your mailbox pricing to this, and it will be a game changer for you, because you're going to command these prices by providing value. And those clients that appreciate that and know and want value and want a one-stop shop, they will go and open a mailbox with you.
Thank you, Yusuf. We have to wrap up. We're almost 10 minutes past our close time. We want to respect all of your time you've spent with us this last hour and a half. If you are interested in any more, Yusuf, can you just really quick mention our special that we're having through January 10th?
Definitely. So last thing for you all, and I want to first talk to the new store. So anyone that's just opened a store and have been in business for 3 years or less, just raise your hand or just put in the comments, I'm a new store. 3 years or less you've been in business. I'm talking to you all right now. Thank you. The importance of training cannot be understated. The importance of training cannot be understated. This industry is very deceptive. It's easy barrier to entry, but once you get into it, we as veterans and Crysta and the others will tell you that there's a big learning curve. You know, for us, it took 10 to 15 years before we found true success and good sales and figuring all those things out. So we at AIM High, we're like, how can we make it easier for new stores as they start? Thank you, Jules. How can we make it easy for you all? And if you're sitting here today as a new store and you are thinking that time is money for me, I don't want to have to put in 10 to 15 years of my life, of my time, figuring out this industry before I'm doing the average store does 350K in sales to do that, right? I don't want to figure it out. I want a blueprint to success. I want a step by step. Give me the hands-on training, the intensive, customized, tailored to me. Give me everything I need to know from the beginning so I can have good sales and have customers come in the first day and be successful and do the kind of sales that you're doing, you know, within 3 years. Well, we got a package for you all. And that is our hands-on, custom-tailored package where you come to our location at Island Ship Center, and we've built a training center right next door for you all, where you come and immerse yourself and see what is possible in this industry and where you can take your store. That package is soon to go up because of demand to $9,500 starting in January. However, if anyone is interested, you can go put at the link at the bottom, go look into that. We have a special going on. If you book that package before January 10th, you can lock in a rate of $7,500 and get that hands-on customized training for your store. And for the last thing I want to say, for those stores that are not new, that have been in business for longer than 3 years, 5 years, 10 years, you may not be at the level where you want to be. You want to take your business to the next level. So you may be stagnant with your gross sales. Like you're like, well, actually, I was down this year, like most stores were, right? If you're thinking that, then this package is for you. And that is our monthly coaching, our monthly accountability package, where we sit with you one-on-one over a Zoom just like this and discuss with you growth strategies of how to take your business to the next level, how to go over those speed bumps, those humps that you have not been able to go over, how to increase your sales, just plain and simple. And that is not just growth strategies, but it's also holding you accountable. So you may hear, and we talked about how ideas are cheap. You may hear ideas all the time, things that you can implement in your store. But frankly, you're just too busy working in your business that you have not been able to do that. And that's where you work with us to allow you to work on your business, hold your hands to profitability, and ensure that you can get to a level where you want to be and accomplish those goals you've set out for yourselves. So holding you accountable is a huge thing. That's what I got for you all. Thank you for your time. Any questions? You got our email. You got our website down there. It's going to be soar@aimhigh.com. Marty, if you want to put my work phone in there as well, you can go ahead and put that in there for everyone. This was great. Thank you all for your time. Thank you for your patience. We went 12 minutes over, but I appreciate each and every one of you. Wishing you continued success for this holiday season and after. And once again, we're rooting for all of us. Let's go kill it. Have a wonderful, wonderful season, and looking to hearing from all of you.
And I want to thank you, Yusuf. Thank you, Crysta. And the recording of this again will be on the AIM High Consultants YouTube channel and also in the members only resource section of ambcforme.org. We are so grateful for our dear friends at AMBC. We are all current, former AMBC members. We love you. And we're thankful for all of you who joined us. And may you have a wonderful holiday season.
Bye, guys. Thank you.
Peace. Well, I'm the host. I can end the meeting for all right now.
Woo, power.
What power?